Driven by envy, a stepmother severed her stepdaughter's gorgeous braids, unaware this act would crown the girl as royalty. In a quaint African village dwelled a maiden called Lulu. Her striking appearance captivated all who saw her, particularly her magnificent long, dark braids that cascaded down her back. The lustrous hair drew admiration from every villager, making all the young women yearn for tresses like hers. Lulu's beloved mother cherished her deeply. Each evening, she would lovingly brush through her daughter's flowing braids while saying, "My dear Lulu, though your appearance brings light to others, remember that your compassionate spirit is your true diadem." Tragedy struck when Lulu's mother fell gravely ill. Clasping her mother's frail hand, Lulu wept and pleaded, "Mother, will you recover quickly?" Her mother caressed Lulu's cheek tenderly, whispering, "Never forget to show kindness, my precious one that represents your most radiant beauty." With those final words, she peacefully passed away. Overwhelming loneliness consumed Lulu though. Her father, Bako, possessed a gentle nature. His weakness prevented him from raising Lulu single-handedly. He soon wed a woman called Nyoka, whose bitter tongue matched her frigid heart. Nyoka brought along her pampered daughter Tamina, 5 years Lulu's junior. Tamina lived in complete idleness, spending her days polishing her fingernails and watching television programs, while Nyoka showered Tamina with every luxury. She immediately began treating Lulu as household help from their first meeting. Daily, Lulu scrubbed floors, cleaned dishes, and prepared meals until her limbs ached with exhaustion. One evening, after completing her cleaning duties and feeling famished, she approached Nyoka with tearful eyes, saying, "Aunt Nyoka, I've finished the housework. May I have something to eat?" Nyoka's cold gaze fell upon Lulu as she replied, harshly, "That meal belongs to my daughter Tamina. Go search for your own food outside if hunger troubles you." Quietly departing, Lulu discovered stale bread and ate her meager portion beneath the starlit sky. Missing her mother terribly and softly weeping, "Mother, why have you abandoned me?" One night, after her labor ended, Lulu sat before her mirror, gently combing her magnificent dark braids. Gazing at her reflection, she smiled with melancholy and murmured, "Mother, though they may steal everything else, my hair remains untouchable. That's the sole treasure you've left me." Throughout the village, people continued praising Lulu's stunning appearance. Girls would tell her, "Lulu, your beauty is extraordinary, your hair absolutely flawless." Though Lulu offered gentle smiles, sadness filled her heart, since kind words never reached her at home. Observing from a distance, Tamina burned with jealousy. She questioned Nyoka, "Mother, why do people claim Lulu is beautiful? I'm superior to her." Nyoka embraced Tamina firmly, reassuring, "You're the finest, my darling. Don't worry, Lulu will never surpass you." That evening, Lulu lay on her narrow bed, clutching her mother's photograph and whispering softly, "Mother, I vow to keep my heart filled with kindness, just as you instructed." She drifted to sleep, dreaming of brighter days, unaware of the trials awaiting her. As years passed, Lulu blossomed into even greater beauty. At 25, her radiance shone so brilliantly that even without fine garments or precious stones, Pasasby would halt and gaze in wonder, whispering about her magnificence wherever she traveled. Yet, internally, sadness persisted because Nyoka and Tamina's cruel treatment never ceased. Now 20, Tamina remained idle, occupying her time with Nyoka television viewing and mocking Lulu. One day, she pointed at Lulu and declared loudly, "Even your attractiveness cannot disguise the fact that you're merely a servant." Though Lulu felt wounded, she remained silent, continuing her tasks while hoping circumstances would eventually improve. On a bright morning, the town herald's voice rang throughout the village. "Attention, citizens, a royal celebration will occur at the palace where all unmarried women must attend. The prince shall select his future wife during this event." Hope sparkled in Lulu's eyes as excitement filled her heart. She rushed to Nyoka asking eagerly, "Mother, may I attend the dance as well?" Nyoka's face flushed with fury as her voice thundered, "How dare you entertain such thoughts? You're nothing more than a housemaid. No prince would ever notice you." Standing beside Nyoka, Tamina smirked at Lulu and declared sharply, "Look at me, Lulu. My features suit royalty, while yours belong in the kitchen." Lulu straightened her posture, feeling courageous. "I shall still attend. I deserve to pursue my dreams too," she stated firmly. Nyoka's eyes narrowed as she responded loudly, "And how will you go?" You possess no elegant gown. Perhaps you should request one from your mother's spirit. Though tears threatened to fall, Lulu remembered her mother's wisdom and replied softly, "My mother always said I was destined for greatness." Naoka laughed cruelly. "You think too highly of yourself, Lulu. You'll never become anything beyond a servant." That night, Naoka remained wakeful, plotting ways to prevent Lulu from attending the dance. Her heart consumed by hatred, she whispered angrily, "Lulu will never outshine my daughter. I must stop her." Lulu also lay awake, fantasizing about the royal celebration. She envisioned herself dancing gracefully like a true princess, clutching her mother's picture and whispering, "Mother, I will honor you. I refuse to surrender." The stars twinkled outside, seeming to whisper, "Stay resilient, Lulu. Your aspirations are grander than your hardships." However, Lulu remained unaware of what awaited her. She didn't know Naoka harbored a vicious scheme. Naoka's heart darkened with envy and rage. She couldn't tolerate the thought of Lulu discovering happiness. As Lulu finally slumbered, dreaming of gorgeous gowns and cheerful melodies, Naoka smiled wickedly, whispering to herself, "Just wait, Lulu. Tomorrow, your fantasies will shatter." The pre-dance day arrived swiftly. Lulu felt joyful, smiling while cleaning the house and preparing food. She completed all washing, sweeping, and cooking tasks, while Naoka continued shouting commands, ensuring Lulu had no rest time. "Rewash those garments, they're still dirty," Naoka screamed. "Yes, Aunt," Lulu responded quietly, working more rapidly. By evening, exhaustion overwhelmed Lulu. Her hands and feet throbbed, but she didn't complain. Thoughts of the dance warmed her heart. Upon finishing her duties, Lulu stood upright and whispered to herself, "I've accomplished it. Nothing can prevent me now." From a shadowy corner, Naoka observed Lulu silently, her eyes burning with cold anger. "You think you're superior to my daughter," she muttered. "I'll demonstrate what happens to girls who dream beyond their station." Late that night, under the bright moon, Lulu fell into deep sleep from exhaustion. She didn't hear the door opening quietly as Naoka entered her room, holding something sharp scissors. Naoka smiled evilly, approaching Lulu's bed and carefully lifting her beautiful braids. Slowly and silently, she began cutting Lulu's hair. Snip, snip, snip. Lulu didn't awaken as Naoka continued cutting until the thick braids fell to the floor, leaving Lulu's head completely bare. Naoka chuckled softly, whispering, "Now let's see if the prince desires a hairless crow like you." Morning arrived, and Lulu opened her eyes. She touched her head and screamed in horror, my hair has vanished." She leaped from bed, seeing her hair scattered on the floor. Tears flooded her eyes as she collapsed to her knees, sobbing uncontrollably. Why would you do this to me?" Naoka stood in the doorway, smiling cruelly. "You wanted to dance, didn't you? Dance now, Lulu. Let everyone mock you." Lulu wept, holding her bare head as her heart shattered. Her hair had been her mother's final gift now. It was gone. But as she sat crying, her mother's words returned. "Lulu, your beauty brings light, but your heart will forever be your crown." Wiping away her tears, Lulu felt pain but also found courage. "You can steal my hair, Aunt Naoka, but you cannot steal my heart," she whispered bravely. She rose, selected a beautiful scarf, and carefully covered her bald head before departing, quickly, running through the village. Everyone stared at Lulu in surprise as she knocked on her best friend's door. "Amina, please open quickly." Amina opened the door, seeing Lulu's tears. "Lulu, what's wrong?" "My hair," Lulu sobbed again. Aunt Naoka cut it off. Amina embraced Lulu tightly. "Come inside quickly. We'll fix this. Your hair was lovely, Lulu, but your heart is more powerful." Lulu smiled slightly, feeling hopeful again. She knew nothing could break her spirit, even Naoka's cruelty. Inside Amina's modest home, Lulu cried quietly while Amina held her hand and hugged her tightly. "Don't weep, Lulu," Amina said gently. "Hair regrows, but your heart remains eternally beautiful." Lulu touched her bare head and whispered, "But everyone will ridicule me. How can I face the prince now?" Amina smiled warmly. "You'll still attend. We'll show them what genuine beauty means." Amina quickly opened a large box containing a stunning royal blue dress. Lulu's eyes widened in amazement. "It's yours," Amina said softly. "I crafted it myself. You'll look magnificent." Lulu donned dress, feeling like royalty. Then Amina presented her with a lovely scarf adorned with sparkling stones. Cover your head with this, Amina instructed. Everyone will witness your strength. Lulu gazed in the mirror and smiled again, feeling brave once more. Soon they reached the royal celebration. The palace glowed with lights and music as numerous beautiful girls gathered, dressed in exquisite clothing. Lulu's heart raced. That when Lulu entered, everyone turned to observe her, whispering quietly, "Who is she?" One girl inquired. "She appears stunning." Another responded in amazement that Lulu held her head high. Though she was bald, she remembered her mother's words. "Your heart will forever be your crown." Across the room, Prince Obasi stood tall and handsome. He gazed at Lulu with warm, kind eyes, slowly walking toward her. "Would you dance with me?" Obasi asked gently, extending his hand. Lulu nodded shyly. "I would be honored," she whispered softly. They danced slowly beneath glowing lanterns while everyone watched silently. Lulu felt peaceful, secure, and special. Obasi smiled warmly. "What's your name?" "Lulu," she responded softly. "Lulu, your bravery shines brighter than any crown," he said, his voice gentle and kind. Suddenly, a loud voice shouted from the crowd. It was Naoka. "She's bald. You should choose my beautiful daughter, Tamina." Naoka yelled angrily. Tamina stood beside Naoka, her face red with rage. "Yes, pick me, Prince Obasi, not that hideous girl." The crowd looked at Lulu, her eyes filled with tears, but she remained strong. Prince Obasi raised Lulu's hand high before everyone. "I choose Lulu," Obasi declared clearly. "I choose her not for her hair, but for her courageous heart." Everyone began applauding and cheering loudly. Naoka's face turned pale. She couldn't believe what was happening. Prince Obasi looked into Lulu's eyes and slowly knelt before her. "Lulu, will you marry me?" he asked gently. Lulu's heart leaped with joy. Tears streamed down her cheeks, but this time they were tears of happiness. "Yes, Obasi, yes, I will marry you," Lulu said, smiling brilliantly. Amina smiled proudly, her eyes also filled with tears. Everyone in the palace celebrated loudly. In that moment, Lulu understood that true beauty wasn't in her hair, it was in her brave and loving heart. Hearing Prince Obasi's words, Naoka felt tremendous anger. Her body trembled as she collapsed to the floor. Everyone turned to look. Tamina cried loudly. "This isn't fair," she shouted, tears streaming down her face. "Why did he choose her? She has no hair. She's ugly." But no one listened to Tamina. They smiled at Lulu instead. The crowd cheered louder. "She didn't need beauty," a woman whispered softly. "She demonstrated strength and courage. She showed us what truly matters." Days passed quickly. Soon the village gathered again as Lulu wore a beautiful dress and her special scarf while Prince Obasi stood proudly beside her. It was the day Lulu would become queen. Lulu looked around, her heart feeling warm. She thought about her mother. "I hope you can see me, Mother," Lulu whispered softly. "I hope you're proud of me." Prince Obasi gently placed a golden crown on Lulu's head. "Today Lulu becomes your queen," he announced loudly to everyone. People cheered and applauded again. They loved Lulu dearly. Slowly, Lulu stood before the crowd. She took a deep breath, smiled, and spoke clearly. "Friends," Lulu said warmly, "today I stand before you not because of my beauty. My hair was severed, but my heart remained strong." Everyone listened quietly. Lulu's eyes filled with happy tears, but she continued speaking bravely. "My mother once told me, Lulu, your beauty brings light, but your heart will forever be your crown. Now I understand true beauty can be cut, but courage cannot, kindness cannot." Many people nodded, recognizing that Lulu spoke truthful words from her heart. "I want every girl here to remember something important," Lulu said, looking around. "Let no girl ever believe she is less because someone else says so. You are strong, brave, and special just as you are." The crowd applauded again. Many girls hugged their mothers tightly, feeling happy and proud. Lulu smiled softly and touched the scarf on her head. "This scarf covers my bare head. It shows my strength. From today, let this scarf become a symbol of courage. Let any girl who feels different wear it proudly." From that day, Lulu's scarf became famous. Girls from villages everywhere wore scarves just like Lulu's. Girls with scars, burns, or bald heads wore the scarf with big smiles. They felt proud and strong, just like their queen. Naoka watched quietly from far away, her face appearing sad and remorseful. Tamina stood next to her mother, silent for the first time. She learned something important, that day beauty comes from the heart, not from the face. Prince Obasi gently held Lulu's hand and smiled warmly. You taught us something special today, Lulu. You taught us that a true queen possesses kindness and courage in her heart. Lulu smiled happily. Her dream came true not because of her hair, but because of her strong, loving heart. The people remembered forever. You can steal someone's crown, but never their courage. True royalty is always carried in the heart.